And the vision is coming to life because I put myself into it and I have my community around me, and you guys are just like validation of that. And so thank you guys. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
What's going on right now? Made Space is opening up a super dope creative space on the corner in 20th and Union. It was co-founded by Stephanie Morales. Super honored to actually call her a true, genuine friend. And so the grand reopening is taking place. It was formerly known as the Liink, and music, drinks, food, art, drumming, and community.
For me, Made Space is being really intentional about making the space, making the time, making the art, making the community and connections. And so that's a place to do that at, because a lot of times we have that in our heart to do that, but the first step is where? We're at the grand reopening of Made Space, formerly the Liink Project. And so I just took some not great stuff and was able to pivot it into a really exciting reopening of the space and focusing on the things that were really working and that I really have a passion for. So community events, art making, gathering, all that kind of stuff. We've been able to host a lot of various artists, both musically, visually, writing and all that. Like Melvin, Fly Blind Guy, came here. He's from East Union, so to be able to come home and be in this place and be celebrated in this place was something that was really important. I had Aramis A.O. Hamer. She's a beautiful soul and has beautiful artwork and was able to kind of be in this space. Adimbo Lakia, who is here today as our drummer, and was able to just put up some really amazing work, and he talked about how that show kind of launched him into the next level of where he's at, and that's kind of always been the goal with my business, and now holding space. That's what we're trying to do here. It's just a launch pad and a place of growth.
This is one of the few spaces that's actually ran by an artist that's left in this particular region that has such a rich history of Black folk and people of color. So I feel like Stephanie is really doing her part of really trying to hold down the fort and make accessible space available for people who have been pushed out so much. One artist, two Black artists, and artists of color. So personally, I'll just speak from myself and just speak from my heart why this space is really important to me is because I had one of my shows here, and she provided me with an affordable space, which is really hard to find now in Seattle, and it's already hard enough to live. And so part of us living as artists is showing our work, exhibiting our work. So if we don't even have a space to show it, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? So she's making that possible. The art scene is huge, but the Black art scene is small. And there's two sides of that. The negative is that it's small, but the positive is that we are deeply rooted and deeply connected. So I feel like I know almost every Black artist of color out here. And so what I value about our community is that we look out for each other, and so I feel like that's what makes Seattle art scene dope. But it is, I feel it, it was hot 2 years ago. And I think what artists can do now is get strategic about how to make this a long-term thing where we still keeping the narrative and keeping artists present. I'm gonna give you this direct example about how Made Space made it possible for me to pay my studio rent in Seattle. So she provided me with space to display my artwork up. During that event, I sold thousands of dollars of artwork. We had a commission part of it, so I was able to give her funds as well. One, the space, and also contributing to what she's doing. So it's also this exchange that's really going on. And that's helping me, how I'm saying, pay my studio rent, pay these bills out here, and really be a full-time artist and be independent from institutions that do come with a whole lot of strings. There's certain things you can't say, there's certain sort of smiles you have to give and hands you gotta shake to kind of make it work, But Made Space is a perfect example about how she's helping to keep artists financially free from corporate institutions that push a certain narrative, and then we become a part of the whole puppet parade to keep that going. But it's like, when you not feeding me, I'm not worried about the hand. You're like, you're not supposed to bite the hand that feeds you. It's like, you not feeding me, so we about to bite back.
People were already doing a lot of businesses, and then of course during the pandemic, a lot of people were able to explore even further their passions, their interests, and grow into businesses. But you know, that leap from online to a physical space can be a little bit difficult. And also, especially with gentrification, we're all spread out all over the city and all over the county. And so this becomes a place where it's like, when you want to be intentional on supporting and elevating Black creatives and entrepreneurs, this is where you can come. It becomes a hub for that. And if someone's a business owner or creative that wants to tap into a wider community, a wider audience, this is where they can come to. So it's like, you can bring your intention here and you're gonna find a place to plug into that intention. I want everybody to understand that what the creative stuff they have inside of them has value, and they can make a living doing that, and they can make community doing that. So that's what the space is. In the space, the idea is we make time, we make art, we make community, and it's just a really intentional type of place. We have lost so many spaces. I really feel like there's a resurgence happening in the Central District of sort of taking back some of these spaces. You know, we acknowledge that the Central District will never be what it was, but we can take that, just like I've done here, and pivot. We can pivot it into something, into the new Central District, and take hold of these spaces and continue to occupy these spaces. And so that's what this is for. It's really even though there's a lot of color on the walls, it's a blank canvas. I want everybody to come in here, look, and see what they can dream up in this place.